Hey guys, we're back with another Pokemon Gen 6 Wi-Fi battle. Today's battle is against Aaron, and judging by his team, he's really going to push my skill to my limits. If he has a YouTube channel, make sure you check him out. You won't be disappointed. I really did enjoy this battle, and it's a double battle actually. He sends out Aggron and Greninja, while I send out my Chansey and Ferrothorn. Yes, we're having another double battle first. He actually uses a map block. Oh, and I'm like, this is weird. A map block? Looks like he intends to flip up a map and block incoming attacks. This is rather interesting. From what I've heard, this guy's actually using a VGC team. And I use Thunder Wave on Aggron, which paralyzes it, but he sets up the rocks, and that's not a good thing. I unfortunately set up Elite Seed because I prefer survival over anything else. Either way, this battle is going to be huge bits of fun because double battles adds a whole new level of flexibility. It really does. He makes a switch, basically making the Leech Seed I made null and void, and he sends out Goodra. Yes, folks, Goodras are known to be especially defensive messes, and as I would predict, I go for a Toxic. I was going to do it on Greninja, but Goodra would pretty much have to do. I set up the rocks just as his Aggron did last turn, and now we both have entry hazards. Sadly, the Parahax doesn't make much difference either way. Now all it boils down to is a lot of luck. So, this is where things get fun. His Goodra, being the fastest out of the four, goes for a Dragon Pulse, and the Dragon Pulse does pretty good damage, and he gets a crit too, which is pretty nice. Anyway, my Chansey decides to just Seismic Toss the Aggron, because I personally think that's even the bigger threat. Ferrothorn, meanwhile, just sets up more entry hazards like spikes. And now he decides to go for a Heavy Slam. And that Heavy Slam did a lot of damage. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot. And I'm surprised since it's basically the slowest out of all of them, courtesy of the Thunder Wave. Goodra, meanwhile, decides to pull out Ice Beam on my Ferrothorn, and the damage wasn't that much either. However, that gets null and voided because of Chansey using Soft Boiled. Yeah, Chansey's the bigger pain in the butt, and pretty soon I may have it on a completely different team. I only use it just to balance out all the offense I have. And I go for a Gyro Ball, and the Gyro Ball does some damage, but he decides to go for a Heavy Slam again, and this one actually does a lot more damage than normal. Meanwhile, Goodra is suffering from poison damage, and it won't be long before he goes down. He decides to go for another Ice Beam, and that Ice Beam does more damage to my Ferrothorn. I wonder if he noticed that I'm also part Steel, which is why he's not getting like super effectives and stuff like that. My Chansey, meanwhile, does Seismic Toss, and now Ferrothorn decides to throw one more Gyro Ball at Goodra, and Goodra's finally going down. I got a crit, though I wondered if it would matter. I don't think it really did. And he gets the Parahax, which to me is a sigh of relief, because I don't want to deal with that like Heavy Slam again. Believe me, I really don't. He now sends in Greninja once again, and thanks to the Stealth Rocks and Spikes that I brought out last turn, I can literally dish out some pain this time. So I decide to send out Electivire, meaning that Focus Sash is now null and void because of Aggron using Stealth Rock about way back. He goes for a Scald this time and turns it into a Water type, and the Scald pretty much does a load of damage to Electivire. I'm surprised I didn't even get a burn. And this time I go for a Gyro Ball, and the Gyro Ball does about more than half damage. It wasn't that effective, and he gets another Parahax, so I'm happy with it. However, he decides instead to go to a Blizzard. Why a Blizzard? I don't know, but it's actually really cool seeing a Blizzard animation. The good news is he got a crit on Ferrothorn and gets a Freeze. Oh my god. But my Electivire goes down. I was going to do Earthquake on everyone and then start fresh. But Ferrothorn thaws out just as he froze and basically attacks Aggron instead, which unfortunately doesn't work. And he goes for a superpower, and that takes on Aggron. I really am impressed seeing Aggron withstand that. That was actually pretty something. However, sadly, that doesn't mean any difference because he gets a little big surprise, courtesy of Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet. Yeah, that's what makes Ferrothorn so dangerous. Anyway, I decide to send out new Pokemon to the battlefield. I send in my Greninja and a Gardevoir. So I'm just hoping to bring on the pain sooner or later. However, I know for a fact that one of them's got a Mega Evolution. I trace Aggron's Heavy Metal, which could explain why. And he decides to make a switch, though to be fair, he should have just stayed. And he sends out, "It's a trap." Yeah. You're probably thinking Admiral Akbar joke, right? Yeah, it is. Anyway, he suffers damage from both Stealth Rocks and Spikes, and I decided to just say, enough playing around. Time to Mega Evolve into Mega Gardevoir. I just want to deliver the pain to him fast and quick. So Greninja goes for the Grass Knot, and I end up using it. I was supposed to use it on Greninja, that was my thought, but I instead used Manectric, and he does suffer some good damage. However, I was going to pull a Thunderbolt, and due to the Lightning Rod, it ended up raising its special attack up +1. That just gives him free reign to pull off a Heavy Slam, which destroys my Gardevoir. This is actually a pretty impressive strategy. That's actually very nice. I didn't think Lightning Rod would be that effective in a double battle. Normally it wouldn't, but at least it works here. So I now send in my Chansey as usual, and knowing him, now this is where things really get rough. Since he took down my Gardevoir, he has free reign to Mega Evolve his It's a Trap into Mega Manectric. Now Intimidate kicks in, and we all suffer a low attack drop. I don't really care because both of them are either defensive and offensive. Now he goes for a Protect. I pretty much can tell where this is going. However, I go for a Surf, and he basically survives anything and everything he's going to dish out. So, not only do I suffer damage with Chansey, I take down his Aggron too. Because I had a pretty good feeling that thing was going to have Earthquake, and that would have really sucked badly. Fortunately, the damage Chansey suffered really wasn't that serious, so I just used a Soft Gold and I'm fully healed. Now, this is where he summons his own Greninja, and due to damage of Stealth Rock and Spikes, it's not going to be able to last much longer. To be fair, he's still hanging on by a wee little thread. Though I wonder why the heck is it faster than me? I don't know. But he pulls off a Scald, and the Scald does damage to Chansey. Unfortunately, he doesn't get a burn, which is surprising. So he transforms into the Dark. My Greninja transforms into the Dark Trap, and I pull a Dark Pulse, and that destroys Mega Manectric. Though I have to admit, Manectric with Lightning Rod is actually pretty cool. I go for a Seismic Toss, and that takes out his other Greninja, which means that now he has 2 Pokemon left, while I still pretty much have 4. I'm beginning to wonder what he's going to bring out now. So he sends in Espeon, and his last Pokemon is a Shiny Latios. Good thing it doesn't have a Latiosite, otherwise I'd really be in trouble. I kid you not, I have never faced a Mega Latios before in battle. I've seen footage of it, but I never experienced the battle. So I'm making a switch, and I'm sending in my Arcanine, hoping to take down both of them. However, believe it or not, I suffered damage from Stealth Rock, which means that Arcanine's not going to last. Espeon goes for a Protect, predicting, I think, Dark Pulse, courtesy of Greninja, and unfortunately, I end up aiming towards Latios instead, and he survives, and I'm like, wow, that thing survived like a beast. Damn. And he gets a Thunderbolt off. However, Life Orb recoil damage, that doesn't really make much of a difference. And this battle's pretty much over. I go for the Grass Knot, hoping to finish off Espeon, while my Arcanine, meanwhile, decides to pull off a Flare Blitz. So that way, that's it. But however, the battle's not over yet. Espeon decides to go out swinging with a Dazzling Gleam. He succeeds on destroying my Greninja. However, Arcanine finishes the job off with a Flare Blitz. Great battle, my friend. I really enjoyed this double battle a lot. Your team really rocks in double battles, and I hope you do very well in the VGC. I really appreciate that. I really hope you do. This was really a lot of fun, Aaron. Thank you very much for the battle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit a like button. It really means a lot to me because I work real hard on these videos. I really do. It means a lot to me, it means a lot to Aaron, and it means a lot to everyone who takes the time to watch it. I'll see you guys next time with another Wi-Fi battle. All right, peace, guys.